Greetings, dear listeners. My name is Serikbayev Sırrım, and today our broadcast is dedicated to the philosophy of technology. The philosophy of technology is a subfield of philosophy that studies the nature of technology and its social effects. Philosophical discussion of questions relating to technology, or its Greek ancestor techne, dates back to the very dawn of Western philosophy. The phrase philosophy of technology was the first used in the late 19th century by German-born philosopher and geographer Ernst Kapp, who published a book titled Elements of a Philosophy of Technology. History. Greek philosophy. The Western term technology comes from the Greek term techne, art or craft, knowledge, and philosophical views of technology can be traced to the very roots of Western philosophy. A common theme in the Greek view of techne is that it arises as an imitation of nature. For example, weaving developed out of watching spiders. Greek philosophers such as Heraclitus and Democritus endorsed this view. In his Physics, Aristotle agreed that this imitation was often in case, but also argued that techne can go beyond nature and complete what nature cannot bring to a finish. Aristotle also argued that nature, physis, and techne are ontologically distinct because natural things have an inner principle of generation and motion, as well as inner teleological final cause. While techne is shaped by an outside cause and an outside telos, goal or end, which shapes it. Natural things strive for some end and reproduce themselves, while techne does not. In Plato's Timaeus, the world is depicted as being the work of a divine craftsman, Demiurge, who created the world in accordance with eternal forms as an artisan makes things using blueprints. Moreover, Plato argues in the Laws that what a craftsman does is imitate this divine craftsman. Middle Ages to 19th century. During the period of the Roman Empire and late antiquity, authors produced practical works such as Vitruvius, De Architectura, and Agricola's De Re Metallica. Medieval scholastic philosophy generally upheld the traditional view of technology as imitation of nature. During the Renaissance, Francis Bacon became one of the first modern authors to reflect on the impact of technology on society. In his utopian work, New Atlantis, Bacon put forth an optimistic worldview in which a fictional institution, Simon's House, uses natural philosophy and technology to extend man's power over nature for the betterment of society through works which improve living conditions. The goal of this fictional foundation is the knowledge of causes, the secret motions of things, and the enlarging of the bounds of human empire to the affecting of all things possible. 19th century. The native German philosopher and geographer Ernst Kapp, who was based in Texas, published the fundamental book Gründen einer Philosophie der Technik in 1877. Kapp was deeply inspired by the philosophy of Hegel and regarded technique as a projection of human organs. In the European context, Kapp is referred to as the founder of the philosophy of technology. Another more materialistic position on technology, which became very influential in the 20th century philosophy of technology, was centered on the ideas of Benjamin Franklin and Karl Marx. 20th century to present. 5 early and prominent 20th century philosophers to directly address the effects of modern technology on humanity include John Dewey, Martin Heidegger, Herbert Marcuse, Günther Anders, and Hannah Arendt. They all saw technology as central to modern life. Also, Heidegger, Anders, Arendt, and Marcuse were more ambivalent and critical than Dewey. The problem for Heidegger was the hidden nature of technology's essence, Gestalt, or enframing, which posed for human what he called its greatest danger and thus its greatest possibility. Heidegger's major work on the technology is found in the question concerning technology. Technological determinists such as Jacques Ellul have argued that modern technology constitutes a unified monolithic and deterministic force, and that the notion of technology being simply a tool is a serious error. Ellul views the modern technological world system as being motivated by the needs of its own efficiency and power, not the welfare of human race or the integrity of biosphere. Bernard Stiegler argued in his Technics and Time, as well as in his other works, that the question of technology has been repressed in the sense of Freud by the history of philosophy. Instead, Stiegler showed how the question of technology constitutes the fundamental question of philosophy. Stiegler shows, for example, in Plato's Meno, that technology is that which makes anamnesis, namely access to truth, possible. Stiegler's deconstruction of the history of philosophy through technology as the supplement opens a different path to understand the place of technology in philosophy than the established field of philosophy of technology. In the same vein, philosophers such as Alexander Galloway, Eugene Tucker, and Mackenzie work in the book Excommunication argue that advances in and the pervasiveness of digital technologies transform the philosophy of technology into a new first philosophy, citing examples such as the analysis of writing and speech in Plato Dialogue the Phaedrus. Galloway et al. Suggested that instead of considering technology as secondary to ontology, technology be understood as a prior to the very possibility of philosophy. Does everything that exists to me presented and represented to be meditated and remeditated, to be communicated and translated? There are meditative situations in which heresy, exile, or banishment carry the day, not repetition, communion, or integration. There are certain kinds of messages that states there will be no more messages. Hence, for every communication, there is a correlative excommunication. There has been additional reflection focusing on the philosophy of engineering as a subfield within philosophy of technology. Ivo van der Poel and David Goldberg edited a volume, Philosophy and Engineering, an Engineering Agenda, which contains a number of research articles focused on design, epistemology, ontology, and ethics in engineering. Technology and neutrality. Technological determinism is the idea that features of technology determine its use and the role of a progressive society was to adapt to and benefit from technological change. The alternative perspective would be social determinism, which looks upon society being at fault for the development and deployment of technologies. Leah Green, used recent gun massacres such as the Port Arthur massacre and the Dunblane massacre to selectively show technological determinism and social determinism. According to Green, a technology can be thought of as neutral entity only when the social cultural contexts and issues circulating the specific technology are removed. It will be then visible to us that there lies a relationship of social groups and power provided through the possession of technologies. A compatibilist position between these two positions is the interactional stance on technology proposed by Batya Friedman that states that social forces and technology co-construct and co-vary with one another. And now our broadcast is over. Please subscribe to this channel. That was your host, Selim Bayevserim. Goodbye.